One thing that I found after losing my sight is that my memory has gotten a lot better. I'm not sure if that's because of my sight loss or if I always had a good memory, but I know that I use it on a very consistent basis. What's up, VIPs? Welcome to my channel, and I'm standing in my kitchen because I wanted to show you my microwave for just a second. Now, on the front of it, it's a flat panel like a lot of microwaves, but I've put some what we call bump dots, and I've talked about that in other videos, but the bump dots help with the tactile feel of the microwave, and it's like, oh, there's the button, there's the okay, great, and it's very helpful, they're clear, they're not very obtrusive, it's wonderful. However, the one thing that the tactile bump dots don't do is tell me what the button is. For example, I know that this down here is the start button. I know that, this one up here is the 5 button. However, I know that because I've memorized where these are. The bump dot doesn't tell me what it is. And so my memory has just gotten to the point where I'm working really hard at remembering where different things are around my house. By the way, if you're new to the channel, my name is Derek and I help people just like you to discover life after sight loss. On this channel, we do product reviews, life advice, encouragement, how-tos, and so much more. So I'd love for you to consider subscribing to my channel so you don't miss another single episode. Now, as I said, I don't know if my memory's always been good or what, but I will say that looking back, I was in theater, so I had to memorize lines and dance moves and song lyrics and notes and all that sort of thing. So I actually was working on my memory even way back then. But since I lost my sight, I am constantly putting things to memory that I can't just look at and find again. When it comes to the panel on the microwave or the stove or phone numbers or instructions or just lots of different things like that, we have to put it in our brain and hold it there so that we can recall it later on. Now, with the advent of the smartphone and notes and all those sort of things, it really does help so I don't have to collect all that stuff and hold it. Maybe just later it'll come up. So that's been nice, but working on my memory has been great. So I wanted to encourage you today to do the same. Now, how can you work on your memory? Well, simple ways, obviously. With your microwave and things like that, have somebody sighted in your life point out where the things are, and then just start to commit it to memory. If you are a visual person, maybe make a layout in your head of what it might look like. That way, you can point it out and say, okay, just like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 0 underneath the 8, we know what that kind of visually looks like, so we can set that to memory. Maybe you play a memory game. If you've got kids in the house, maybe they can work with you and you can play a memory game. Now you might say, well, those memory cards are too small. Well, a couple of things. One, have your kids point out what you're turning over. That's always helpful. Or two, make your own memory game with big sheets of paper and say, okay, this is a 2 and here's the 2. Working on your memory. Now, is it a must-have that you have to have a good memory to be a blind person? No, not at all. But I would imagine that as you go through life after losing your sight, your memory just starts to improve and your brain starts to hold that stuff in a little bit different way. Now, I'm not a doctor or a medical professional by any stretch of the imagination, but I will just say from my own life, I have found that working on things like the panel on the microwave has helped me to remember it and commit it to memory so that later on when I get to that bump dot, I know exactly what that button is. So my question for you today is this. Have you found that your memory has amped up a little bit since losing your sight? And what are some ways that you work on that memorization, whether it's the microwave, playing a game, whatever it might be? I'd love to hear about it, and I know others would as well. So let me know in the comments below. Hey, if you like this video, if you found it helpful, make sure to give it a big thumbs up, share it with somebody that you know, and subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss another single video. Thanks for watching wherever you are, and until next time, remember that sight loss isn't the end, it's just the beginning. My name's Derek Daniel from LifeAfterSightLoss.com, and I'll see you in the next one.